In this video, I'm going to be building your guys' artwork in Minecraft. I put up a story on my Instagram where I asked you guys to send me your artwork so I could rebuild it in Minecraft. Unfortunately, I only have time to make one build today, but if you guys really like the video, I will probably put out something similar in the future. For this video, I'm going to be using this drawing right here by Isla Rose. I'm going to be leaving her Instagram in the description if you want to check out her other stuff. And huge thank you to them for sending in their drawing. Now, without further ado, let's get into the build. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the Axiom editor. I'm going to go to File, Open Reference Image. I'm going to find the reference on my computer and select the image. And now you can see we have this little reference in-game. I can make this bigger, and I can also make it stay when I turn off the editor. So now I just have this to work with. And since I'm recreating 2D artwork, I'm gonna go with a perspective build for this video. So let's get started. We're gonna go with the usual process and start with a sphere. This will be a pretty big build. Now I can already imagine the most challenging part of this is gonna be getting all these colors right, but we're gonna try our best. First step of a head is always to get the jaw shape. That's very important, getting the right length and the general shape of the face. The subject in this art piece has a very oval face, kind of a rounded off rectangle. So we're gonna make a pretty long jaw. And with that, we can flip the face. For all the facial features, I'm gonna be using red concrete. And with the head done, I'm gonna start work on the body. So we're gonna place the neck in, and then for the upper body, I'm gonna use a very large cube. We're gonna rotate this. Also, just a little tip with Axiom, if you want to go past the limits of the size, you can hold down Control and click on this, and you can input your own number. So we're going to do 100. And for the left arm, we're just going to use the Path tool again. And now for the hair. I think I'm going to use a mix of Loft and Path tool for the hair. Firstly, I'm going to create an outline for where I think the hair should start. Then next up, I'm going to grab the Path tool, create a starting point right here. We're going to switch the type to the Spline tool, and we can get started outlining the curves of the hair. That'll be one side, and now for the other side. And now we can continue doing this over and over again to get the full shape of the hair. And with the basic outline of the hair done, we can start sculpting it. And for now, I'm just going to go back in and work on the body a little bit more. Kind of clean up some of these areas and connect them together better. Finally, I'm going to add in the ears, and once that's done, we can start coloring. So it's kind of challenging finding a base color for this. Since there are so many colors, I can't pinpoint an exact color for everything together. So the most neutral color I can go with is going to be diorite for the skin tone. And for the hair, I'm going to use gray terracotta. And that's going to be our base for now. And I'm just going to add a clay background. And we can get started on the coloring. So I usually like to start with the eyes. We can replace this to a white block. And I'll start by adding in the iris and the pupil. So in the reference, she went with some purple mixed with yellow eyes. So that's what we're going to do. Then I'm going to begin shaping the actual outer edges of the eye. So we're going to use slabs and stairs for this, and just any other shaping blocks. Now to give the eyes some depth, we're going to add a shadow right at the top. And we can do the same thing for the other eye. And for now, that should be fine. We're going to do the lips next. So again, we have this kind of purple color, which is pretty difficult to get in Minecraft. So we're going to probably use some glass in this build. And the eyebrows have the same purple color. What I like to do next is I like to block in the general colors of my build. This process is pretty messy, but I find it works best for me as I can get an idea of how everything looks together before I get into blending it all in. So I'm going to pick out some blocks here that I think match the colors on the face. We have plenty of colors to pick from. And again, we're definitely going to have to use a lot of glass for this. So let's get started. For the main highlights, I think that color of green is going to be very hard to achieve. So I'm going to try using a white block with the green glass on top. And for other parts, I'm going to use this frog light that has that slight green tone. And in my opinion, that works pretty well. And if we cover that with glass, that should look even better. And again, for this very light purple color, I'll probably use a white block for the undertone and cover it with some sort of glass. And I can also cover the amethyst with white glass to make it brighter. And in general, the glass is going to help us get that almost watercolor look that the original artwork has. And I'm going to do the same thing for the hair, where I kind of just block out some of the colors. Now, I know this looks very messy right now, but this is the stage where we go back in and we blend all these colors together. I'm going to go back into the eyes and I'm going to detail them now. And with that eye pretty much done, we can move on to the other eye. After the eyes are done, now I go back to the skin tone and I start blending in all the colors. So here especially, I'm trying to layer a lot of glass. And the more layers you add, the more you get that watercolor effect. Now I'm going to outline the lips and the nose as we see in the picture. We have these small black outlines. Now that I've got most of the face done, I'm gonna probably work on the hair next. It's gonna be a pretty similar process with the hair. A lot of glass and a lot of mixing the colors together. Here I'm just using the weld tool to paint glass on. It's a lot quicker than hand placing everything, and it gives the same effect. I always try and blend the colors as best as I can without using glass, and once I can't blend them in any further, that's where I start incorporating more glass into it. And that should be most of the hair done. I'm going to go back to the skin and finish the body. At this stage, it really does just feel like you're painting with watercolors. You're just layering on colors, trying to achieve a specific look. And it's a really cool effect you can get in Minecraft, which you usually can't get if it wasn't for glass. Now that I have this, the final step is to go around the edges and smooth them out and add all the outlines in the hair. I'm going to move this eye one block to the right because I noticed they're slightly too far apart. And for all the hair strands, I'm just using a bunch of debug to create those wavy shapes. And I can just duplicate this and position it slightly differently. And then just edit the shape a little bit so it doesn't look the exact same. And now we've got 2 strands of hair. Now I'm just going to do this over the entire build. And with that done, the final thing to do is the background. I'm going to use glass for the background too, and I'm just going to layer a bunch of cyan and orange glass. I can grab the weld tool and just use glass panes on top. When you use glass panes, you can put them directly in front of each other and they will still layer because they have a gap in between. This is going to be it for the build. I'm very happy with how it turned out and I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. A huge thank you goes out to all my Patreon supporters. If you're interested in supporting me and getting my build, check out my Patreon in the description. And if you can't, that's okay. A like and a comment also helps me out a ton. And until the next video, peace.